welcome back. It's day 10. We are currently limping two vehicles out of here. One being the Land Cruiser with a cracked chassis from towing the boats on these rough tracks on a Munja track. Hence the reason why Torben is now taking over the towing and nursing it out of there. And of course the Jeep losing some parts, this time vital steering components. So we need to get these vehicles out of here and back to Broome for repairs. But on the way out there's plenty of stuff to see that we missed, and we're going to take it nice and easy. The next location on our radar is called Reen's Gorge, a beautiful swimming hole, and it's also a significant place for Indigenous people in regards to fertility. So we are really looking forward to having a nice soak in this cool water. On our way to Wheeling Gorge, we did pass this other significant Aboriginal site. This being a rock arrangement or rock formation. It is considered a form of rock art. The meaning behind it, I've tried to do a lot of research and I can't find any answers on it, and I don't even know how long it's been there for. It's obviously very significant as it was signed not to enter the area, hence the reason why we are looking at it from the air. And you get a better perspective of the whole thing from the top. We are now on foot on our way to Wheeling Gorge to see some Aboriginal rock art from a long time ago. Now up the top on the track there where we had to park our vehicles, it's been about a 100-metre walk so far. We can hear some water, so we're getting close. At the top there were some rangers, Indigenous rangers, and they were kind enough to point us in the right direction because it's actually pretty hard to see where to go. It's not a well-known, often visited area up here on the Munja track. So everything out here on the Munja track has in fact been a bit difficult to find, especially in the dark. But during the day you have a bit of a chance to find it, but you really got to be on the lookout for things around and yeah, especially markers and whatnot. So I've climbed up the top here of the swimming hole, and this is in fact a fertility pool for the Aboriginal people. So behind me here, this is the ladies' side. So I'll take it if you swim in the waters below, it's meant to give you a better fortune in fertility. I'm not sure, of course, exactly how and what their belief is, but regardless, there's some pretty cool rock art here and it's quite a significant place, obviously. The opposite side, which is behind me, is the men's side, which has some more rock art, but it's a bit faded. Wheeling Gorge is by far the best and most refreshing waterhole on the Munja track. Epic place, so worth going all the way, even just to see this and just experience it.
So the plan after here is probably start making our way out because we have a few vehicle issues now. So we're on our way out anyway, but it's probably going to take us a bit longer to get out. Have to go a bit slower.
Looks like we located the source of the pool from up here. It's amazing. I'm guessing there'll be another body of water behind that, and another one again. Sure flows down to Wheeling Gorge. Just down there. It was then time to head back out again on the rocky tracks. They are slow going as they are already. However, when you are towing a boat, it really slows you down. And especially when it's not your boat and you're towing someone else's boat. You take that little bit extra care of it.
About 5 kilometres ahead of the rest of them. They have asked us to go ahead and locate a good camp. Oh, chippy. Thank you very much. Chippies. So we're going to try and get to a place called Jamison Arch. Chippies. And hopefully we can reach that for camp tonight. Now we're coming up to Baxton Jump Up. There's a couple of jump ups on this track. I may have spoken about those in previous installments of this adventure. Some of those will be interesting to go back up. One in particular tomorrow, I expect to be a bit of a challenge. The Magpie Jump Up, because we were going down last time, so I'm going to go up. Anyway, better get back in the vehicle. That sun's going to drop down soon. And we're aiming for daylight today.
Got him. Good job, honey.
Oh, alright. So it's been a bit of a long journey. The Munja track, all the way to Walcott Inlet, and now we're on our way back out. And we've still got a day and a half to get out of here, maybe more. Tomorrow we're going to take it easy and actually get to camp by 3:30, and I'm going to bake some bread and whatnot. We're going to have a big pizza night. We're going to have a bit of a celebration of almost reaching the end of the Munja track. It's really tested the vehicles, and it's really sort of tested everyone as well for long drives. There's been lots of fatigue on the way in because we're trying to catch that, that super tide. Really want to be there for the super tide, and I think we're all grateful that we got there for it, so we could really witness the true power of Mother Nature with those kind of tides. I mean, they were incredible. Flooding our camp, trying to get the cars out. There's a lot of stuff happened. So, it's funny though, this is a really long trip. We've been out here for quite a while. I mean, we started at Broome, we've done the Gib, we've got to go back there again. And you sort of start realising that it's the simple things when it comes down to it, like finding the extra beer in your fridge, finding the extra dips, finding all those things you've been delaying to go through because you're out here for so long. But I think people are now starting to burn the candle at both ends because we're on the way out. and soon we'll be back into the civilization and we'll be able to restock. So that's the feeling that's going through my head at the moment. But the Mundi track, definitely well worth doing. Look, I'll discuss more later on perhaps about all our thoughts on the Mundi track, so don't just take my word for it, and just our thoughts on a trip this long and this remote, as to whether people should do it on their own and why they shouldn't do it on their own, or why they should do it on their own, or why they should do it in a group. So there's a few things that we're going to discuss around the camp tonight and sort of convey to you guys later on. So anyway, I'm going to take my beer and my dip and go down around the fire and share it with my good mates.
It is the morning of day 11, and given we have a fair bit of a drive and we want to get to camp at a reasonable time in daylight, for once, we have left quite early. Now our first stop is Jamison Arch, a beautiful natural archway made out of rock or granite, which requires a bit of enthusiasm and a sense of adventure to go and actually see it in its full glory. So there's a bit of a hike and a climb coming up.
We're on another bushwalk to Jamison Arch. Big rock formation, looks pretty cool. Just ahead of me there. I think I've lost sight of the walking track. Oh man. The vines, you're getting caught in the vines.
Which way?
Which way?
Do you want to go that way? I'll go this way.
Where's the arch?
It's just behind this rock, yeah.
I'm going your way then. Bit of a climb. So close, not giving up. The arch is just through there. Not sure if you can see that. You can see a bit of daylight through the trees. Above that is a rock. Almost there. Oh. Just lost my hat. Oh no. Oh my hat. I've got my hat. And as Wayne would say, oh my hat. Alright, we're almost there. Oh, look at that, looks pretty cool.
Just these rocks.
The colours.
Yeah, this is the algae.
What an epic view. This is awesome. Jamison Arch. Kind of like the gateway to the Kimberley. Stole that from Wayne. That's awesome. We still go higher too. Now everyone else decided to stay down, which I kind of think is a bit of a shame. This is definitely worth checking out. It was a lot of effort though. I'm sweating. But definitely worth it. Come all the way out here. You got to get out of your car and you got to walk around, because that's when you really see everything. You're not going to get a track up everything, absolutely awesome. So when I go and climb these kind of things, where I'm going to get a good view, I usually bring one camera with one lens up with me, even though I carry two cameras. So what I normally take photos with is a Canon 5D Mark III. I've got two of these. Now the reason why I have, well, it's kind of, I don't know if you call it a high-end camera, but it's like semi-pro camera, I would call it. I used to shoot weddings and stuff, so that's why I have these cameras. So I either pick a wide-angle lens or a zoom lens, like a telescopic lens, so you can get different features. Now obviously for something like this arch here, you're going to want to use a wide-angle lens so you can capture the whole scene. But if you want to take photos off in a distance, you can't beat a telescopic lens. You get some really excellent shots with a telescopic lens. So it's just all about playing around with them and seeing what you get. Now a lot of the time, people try and bring up both. I suggest you bring up one type and one type only, because then you can full concentrate and get in those photos. So you just got to make the choice before you make the climb. And this time, wide angle lens, a Canon L lens, 16 to 35mm, so it's ultra wide.
We're now back at the Magpie Jump up, and going down or going up, it's pretty easy going, really. Of course, if you're towing something, things are going to be a little bit harder, but even with the boat, Torben is managing just fine, with only a little bit of slippage.
We have reached Mary's Road Creek, which is our last stay on the Mungee track. So tomorrow we have about short 30 k's out of here to hand the key back at Mount Elizabeth Station, and then we're back on the Gibb River Road and we'll see a few sights we missed on the way in. So right now everyone's just dipping their feet, cooling off because it's been pretty hot today and pretty dusty.
It was then time to bake some bread, as all my bread and all my wraps have gone a bit stale. So new bread, bake it out there, and you're right. And straight after finished baking the bread, it was then time for camp oven pizzas. This isn't quick bread or dampers I'm cooking over, this is proper bread. So for a recipe and methods on how to do this in a camp oven, there is a link in the bottom for that video.
Oh, it smells right, eh?
You coming to sniff my bread, mate? Alright, welcome to the pizza bar. I've got all my condiments with me in this fridge. So it's all my road making, when I make sandwiches or whatever. I don't just have plain sandwiches, I have good sandwiches. So this is a pepperoni pizza with olives and sun-dried tomatoes, fancy smancy. I'm using just these pizza sauce packets here. One would do 2 pizzas actually. And as I said, we're going to put it in the camp oven. So I'll see you over there. Okie dokie, so what I have here is the inside pan, as I showed you before. Baking paper. Slide the pizza onto the baking paper. Now the idea here is I can lift the pizza out easy with the baking paper. This will sit on top of this camp oven, like so. On top of that, the camp oven lid will sit here. So I'm going to put heat underneath it, quite a bit underneath, and a fair bit on top as well. Put on the gloves, come in handy. Alright, we'll give this about 15 minutes and I'm going to check it. From there on, I reckon all the others will only take about 10 to 15 minutes because the camp oven will already have the heat in it. There we go. Cardboard back here. It's the cardboard that came with the pizza. Pizza bases. You've got something to cut it on too. Paper back in, next pizza in, same process, repeat, and you're going to have a good meal. Got my taste testers here. What do you reckon? Good.
Very good.
How'd it turn out?
Brilliant.
You want to try?
Nah, right, mate.
Sure? I'll try one of yours.
Yeah, right. Oh, there's pineapple too, yours?
Yeah, no, it's alright.
Alright, camp oven pizzas.
Meat lovers.
Alright.
Chili meat lovers.
Now time to look at the map and we'll give you a bit of an idea of where we actually are and where we're actually going to go. Now, I wish I had this at the start. I bought this at Mount Barnett on the way in. Rightio. This is the map. This is the Munger Track. This is Walcott Inlet. Munger Track goes all the way to Mount Elizabeth Station. We are right now, right here. Mary River Crossing. Or Mary's River
Mary's
Crossing?
Road Creek.
Mary's Road Creek, thank you, Torben. We are now going to leave from here, go down to Mount Elizabeth Station, drop the key off, then head out onto the Gibb River Road, then go to Barnett River Gorge. After that, depending on time of course, we may have to camp there, depending on how long it takes us to get out, but I reckon we'll get there in good time. Then down to Mount Barnett to refuel. Only as much fuel as we need to get to Derby, which is right over here, because Derby's got cheaper fuel, Mount Barnett quite expensive. We want to save our pennies. We are then going to head to Bell's Gorge, which is further down the Gibb, right up here, a must-see place. So that is where we're going, and we'll probably more than likely camp at Silent Grove. So that's pretty much the plan. Right, so I'm pulling the grill out to get to all this grass. Come check this out. Oh, I think I've got most of it now. All this in the radiator. There's still more in there, but I've got most of it out. Oh, there's a whole heap there too. Right in there between the winch and the radiator. So as some of you might already know, I travel with my tools under the chair. It's my whole tool bag here. I'll just show you first. Get a good look before. That's everything in here, even a tape measure. Just everything. Small socket set, screwdriver set. That's all the essential tools you need for pretty much everything. I do have a bigger socket set and stuff in the back, which I think you would have seen earlier already. And the latest change and addition I've done, now this is another thing from One Tigris. This is like a clip-on version, so it's really quick to clip on and clip off. But what I've sort of done, instead of having all the different pockets on there, I've changed it up. Now I was really bad on the previous long trip with water, not drinking enough water because of the setup I had in the back. So I didn't have any water to get to real quick and refill my bottles with. So I now have a water sitting in here, harnessed on here. It's about 800 ml in there, and that keeps me hydrated. Second two-way radio, I've tucked into this one, so it's easier to get to because before it was down here. I rarely listen to music when I'm full driving because I like to hear the engine, I like to hear the tyres, then it's a bit easier to tell if I have a flat tyre or anything like that. Also with the radio, I can hear people easier. Last vehicle to come through.